Welcome back to Let's Play Ace Combat 04.
Converse Harbor, home of the Acre Fleet, is completely dependent on a single petrochemical complex for its fuel supply. The complex consists of a land-based oil refinery storage facility and an offshore oil drilling platform. Your mission is to go out and destroy, or at least damage, these sites. Our objective is to reduce production output of this complex to 20% or less. By cutting off the port's fuel supply, we will delay and disrupt the combat deployment of the Acre Fleet.
Yeah. So, oil platforms are going to be over the ocean?
Yep. And the oil reserves are right there on land.
Where you'd keep them, I guess. So, you're going to buy stuff? What are you going to buy?
Let's see. Nope, no new aircraft to buy and no new weapons. So that was just a big waste of time.
A guided bomb.
Yep.
Just drop it on things.
Commence operation. Split into two groups and destroy targets. Inflict as much damage as possible to the complex and reduce their output.
So I take it not a lot's changed since this game and the last game, right?
Heads up.
Yeah,
Not
looking at a big...
precisely. Like, again, this is one of the things about, like, doing this series out of order, is the fact that, like...
Mobius 1, engage.
You know, this game technically came out before Ace Combat 0, but it came out after Ace Combat 2. So, like, yeah, like, a lot has changed from Ace Combat 2, but, like, this is still the point where it's, like, you know, 0 is yet to come, so, you know, like, this is just, like, like, I guess the building blocks of 0 are here.
Yeah. Well, that's always kind of interesting to see how that all sort of goes into the franchise and the series like that. Even if you're going back and you're like, okay, this is a step back, this is a step forward kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you had to pick the features from the franchise that you actually like the most and put them into one game, you know, what would you actually pull from which game so far?
Take out the fighters first.
Good question. Probably, I would have, like, 4's music, 5's mission setup, 0's story presentation, and put it all on 6's engine.
Of course.
And that's probably gonna piss a hell of a lot of people off, but I don't give a shit.
Really? What part of that do you think's controversial?
Oh, people really don't like 6 for some reason because, like, oh, it was on the Xbox 360, and they were going like, oh, why is it on a Microsoft platform when all the other Ace Combats were on Sony ones?
Oh, that crap,
but,
yeah.
But, like, 6 probably has one of the most refined engines out of, like, the Ace Combat games that I've played. And, like, you know, I've been getting some shit in the thread because, like, oh, people don't like, 04's mission, like, setup and whatnot.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, well, it's like, the missions are too long, they're too boring, not enough interesting stuff happens in them, and I'm going like, shut up.
Yeah, well, I
But
mean,
at the same...
sorry, I was gonna say that the missions in the games that I've commented in, and the stuff that I've watched in other games in the franchise, it's all fairly short stuff. I'm talking like 15 minutes at a maximum, and part of that is the briefing. So when you said this is a longer one, it's 16 minutes long.
Yeah, like, because there's really 2 parts to this mission. Like, we'll see the second part coming up at the end, but, like, yeah, this is one of the longer missions in 04 itself. Like, there's a couple of them that are, like these, basically just these long, protracted, like, sieges, essentially.
Yeah.
Of, because, like, you see on the radar map there, like, you've just got an absolute ton of targets, and not only that, there are 2 groups of them
Yeah.
spread out all over the place. So, like, this mission is basically designed, like, with the resources that you have at the moment in terms of, like, ammo and, like, your plane health and whatnot. You are going to have to fly back and cross the return line to re-up and resupply and whatnot. So that also, like, takes a big chunk of time off the clock, too.
Yeah, that is the resupply. I don't think you've had to resupply in other missions I've seen, actually, at all. I should note that I have not actually watched any of the videos in this LP yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just seems so weird because everything else I've seen has been just pretty straightforward. You have enough to get through whatever you're going through. And this one's, you're telling me that you're going to have to resupply. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, and, like, it's, yeah, this mission, and then, like, the game really doesn't do itself any favors by having this mission followed immediately up by Invincible Fleet, where it's literally just the same thing. Like, another big, giant, long, protracted assault mission that you need to go back and resupply in order to get through.
That's,
yeah. Like, yeah, and I think there's, like, probably 4, maybe 5 of them in total across the game, whereas, like, in Zero, like, there was only 2 of them that you really needed the return line for.
Fox 2.
So, like, Zero really varied its mission structure a lot better than 04 did.
Yeah. Do you think that's just, like, them trying to do stuff differently, like naming their game 04 and stuff like that?
Probably. You've got to remember, it is a Japanese game, and the Japanese love their pun titles.
Yeah.
It's
true.
Like, we were talking about, yeah, we were talking about this over the briefing, like all the audio that got cut out, but it's like, this game takes place in 2004 in Strange Reel, and it's the 4th game in the series, so of course, what else do you call it but Ace Combat 04? Or, I suppose, if you wanted to be pedantic, you could also call it Ace Combat 04, though I've never heard anyone call it that.
Yeah, I always just thought of it as Ace Combat 4, and I thought the Zero thing was just like a weird decision. I didn't realize it was supposed to be because it came out in 04 or whatever, or well, it took place in 04.
Yeah, like, functionally you could refer to it as Ace Combat 4, but I call it 04 just out of force of habit. But anyways, now that we're we're getting there. Now that we're halfway through the mission, we've pretty much taken out everything that's worth taking out on the oil rigs. So now it's time to head over and bomb the shit out of the refinery.
Hell yeah.
Commit some good old-fashioned war crimes.
Yeah, you gotta target them so they won't actually want to come fight you anywhere.
Pretty much, yeah. That is literally what we are doing in this mission. It's like, there's a big giant fleet out there somewhere that is going to go and blow the crap out of our headquarters, so we gotta make sure it does not set sail by any means necessary.
So, the way to do that is to start attacking civilian targets.
Yep.
I guess they're technically war assets. I mean, the U.S. government does consider certain fuel supplies and stocks government assets as much as they are civilian, facilities. So, I mean, there's that, but at the same time, I guess we're not really living in the world of Ace Combat, so can't really make a comparison.
Yeah. And of course, you've also got to remember, like, I know you haven't watched any of the videos yet or been paying attention to the backstory, but, like, this is technically a Scorched Earth run. Like, this is actually, like, technically speaking, this is all ISAF's, like, resources and whatnot.
Yeah.
And the Erusians have taken over everything. So we're just basically blowing up our own stuff that we have lost control over.
That's great. Wait, is this the one where the game starts with, like, the attack on the city and the Dance with the Angels thing?
No. Oh, no, that's Ace Combat 6, yeah.
Okay. I remember that. I remember that crap.
Yeah, we are gonna be... Yeah, we're gonna have a lot to say about that shit when we get to 6. Also, I love the destruction animation on these smokestacks. You might see it. No. Well, you'll see it when it comes around. But, like, I just love all the little details in this game. Like, you might have saw it a little bit earlier, but, like, at the very tip of the cape there, like, in the back,
Yeah.
like, there's actually a lighthouse there, and you can see the beam from the lighthouse sort of scanning across the surface of the water. I love that.
Yeah, it's neat, and it's a PlayStation 2 era game, so the weird attention to detail is just kind of outstanding for that era. So there's only so many things they can do, and going for that is kind of crazy.
And yeah, and this is like early PlayStation 1 era too. Like, this is like 2001 this game came out in.
Oh, jeez. So this is like almost a launch game.
More or less, yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Like,
jeez. Now I
yeah,
feel
like,
old.
I think oh god, tell me about it. Like, I think, like, Ace Combat 3 Electrosphere was pretty much an end-of-life PlayStation 1 title. Oh yeah, there it goes with the destruction physics.
Ooh.
But yeah, like, Electrosphere was, like, damn near, like, an end-of-life PS1 title. And
Yeah.
they went right from Electrosphere into this one.
Enemy facility destroyed.
Man, that smokestack falling over is still something you probably only see for a couple of seconds at most. It's nice that they went for that instead of it just exploding in place and then not being there.
Mission complete.
Wow. And you're going for some bonus points here, I see.
Actually, no, like, you'll see it on the counter up there, but, like, none of the ones that I attacked actually counted for points for after the mission update clicked in. And oh shit.
The 5 yellows. It's like the Power Rangers of the Ace Combat universe.
More or less. So yeah, say hello to Yellow Squadron, the main antagonist of the game.
So what makes them difficult? Let's ask that question. Because, you know, for the most part in Ace Combat games, it's get missile lock and don't get shot by moving really fast. So, how do they make these guys, like, difficult to fight?
Well, it's funny that you say that because, like, this part of this mission, this engagement, is actually technically soft scripted.
Oh.
Like, allegedly, no matter what, like, plane or weapons you bring into this fight, you will never be able to actually land a hit on any of these yellows.
Huh. They are
And,
flying
like,
around
there's
like crazy.
Yeah, like, there's a bonus video that I'm going to be posting along with this update, where, like, you'll see just how fucking impossible it is to actually, quote-unquote, score a hit. And, like, yeah, like, this is more or less just, like, a soft-scripted story section where, like, you have no choice but to run away from these guys, because if you do the thing that I'm doing here and try to actually fight them, you will most likely either die or run out of time on the counter up there.
Oh, yeah. You do only have 2 minutes left.
But yeah, like, you were talking about, like, what makes these guys so special, like, in the story segments that are happening, like, I suppose between the missions, like, you'll see one, like, you're not going to see them because it's not included in this commentary version, but it's at the end of the full version of the video, like, basically the main character of the game from, like, the narrator's perspective is Yellow 13, the guy who is the actual head of this squadron.
Uh-huh. So
And,
that
like,
will make... Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, this is the first point in the game where, like, the game narrative and the frame story narrative sort of begin to intermerge. This is your first encounter with Yellow 13 in the game. And, yeah, like, this is the point where I just decide, okay, yeah, no, fuck this, we're out.
Yeah. They gonna chase you out?
More or less, yeah. Like, I think they give chase for a little bit, but once you get probably, like, about 5 kilometers away from them, they just sort of give up.
So at least they were a little late to the party. I mean, you got your objective accomplished. Should be pretty happy.
Yeah, that's gonna kind of be a theme with Yellow Squadron, where they're always a day late and $1 short when it comes to stuff that really matters.
But they're really good at flying, you see.
But oh god, yeah, like they're really good at killing stuff once they get there.
Yeah. Once they get there, they can do stuff, but, you know, their main nemesis is really time. It's not you.
Mm.
And that they can't tell time. And wow, you're gonna get a return to base thing even if you're. I mean, this is the way they told you to go. It said go south.
Yep. And yeah, that dotted line was the line you need to cross. That's the return line that you go across to resupply and refuel and whatnot.
Yeah.
I made it through this one without having to resupply.
Lost 5 million barrels of reserves.
But yeah, no, the later missions coming up, that's not going to happen.
Barrels of crude oil
Yeah.
daily. The Aegir fleet is effectively immobilized and no longer a threat.
Some of the flying you threw out in this video is pretty amazing. I want to see what the background looks like when you're going after that yellow, because that was kind of nuts. I thought you were gonna hit the ground like 50 different times.
Oh, you're gonna
sure
love
we'll
the
see
extra video I post then.
Oh yeah. Trying to go after him.
I'm just, yeah. Again, that's the reason why I'm just letting this one run, is because I want to see when the yellows show up. There we go.
Yeah, that crap. Holy shit. I'm pretty sure your pilot should have blacked out about 50 times in a row there.
Probably.
And away.
A freeway under construction in a wheat field outside of town. When they started construction, I remember how the mayor bragged about it, even though it would completely bypass our town. The freeway became the occupation force's makeshift runway, and the unfinished tunnels their bunkers. This was their base. They were the elite flight squadron chosen to protect the cannon. Ironically, the same cannon that was created to shoot down the asteroids became a catalyst to the war. But when the Allied attacks no longer came, the squadron was assigned long-range missions that took them to distant battlefields. I thought of the words I would use to confront him and bided my time. Although I harbored these feelings within me, I could never get close to him. His wingman was always by his side. Despite having a gentle demeanor, I could tell that the wingman would never allow danger to get near Yellow 13, even on land. The pillar of their group, 13 exuded an air of invincibility. He always chose to fly a 5-plane formation. He was a man who prided himself not on his kill record, but on his record of never losing a squadron member. It's difficult for me to describe just how good Yellow 13's flying was, but I witnessed it once from the ground. The lead plane of the 5-plane formation should have turned the same arc with the same timing as the others. Yet only his plane drew sharp contrails. His heart felt compassion towards the weaker enemies he downed. Someday, if an equal appeared and challenged the limits of his skills in a fight, he would bear no resentment about being shot down. He said this himself. And so as time passed, I found the goodness of a home in their company. Leaving them was no longer an option for me now.